Nam Hui's corporate headquarters, Johor Tower, is also a product of lucky chance.
At around the end of the year 1976, we bought this building. At that time, it had only 5 floors. It was already 5 stories tall.
In 1976, Dato Tan On Chuan planned to build a 25-story building at Jalan Gereja in downtown Johor Bahru, but he faced cash flow problems.
The 3 owners of this building, they wanted to build 25 stories, but the soil of the building site was too soft. It's sandy soil. The foundation pile driving cost $4 million. His capital cost was only $6 million. He almost spent it all just for the pile driving. There's no money to complete the construction. He kept asking Tan Sri for help. He asked Tan Sri to buy 2 floors. The ground floor is bigger. Just buy 2 floors. The price for 1 floor is over $2 million. Just buy 2 floors so I can complete the construction. He kept coming to Tan Sri's office asking for help.
Nam Hui didn't want to spend a huge amount of money to buy office space, so he declined Dato Tan On Chuan's solicitation. But Tan On Chuan faced a serious capital shortage and was eager to get rid of it. So he told Nam Hui, if you took over construction, you could have the building for free. Knowing he could have it for free, Nam Hui started becoming interested. He thought to himself, it's a great deal. He could have this building for free. Nam Hui calculated the cost in his mind. He knew all those construction contractors. Also, the yield of Senang Oil Palm Estate and Lien Hap Estate was ever increasing since the construction had begun. Plus his own palm oil mill. He was making lots of cash, so he was able to cover the construction cost. So in just 18 months, he completed constructing the rest of the 20 floors of this building. It became the only tall building in Johor Bahru, also the tallest landmark in South Malaysia. After completion of this 25-story building, the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ismail, named this building Johor Tower. Nam Hui became the first Malaysian Chinese entrepreneur in Johor Bahru who owned a tall building. Malaysian Chinese business structures in the early times were mainly sales brokers, lacking advanced modern industrial technology. All employees were clansmen. It's not a good way to find the best talent. Since 1970, Malaysia implemented new economic policy. Under commercial laws, Malaysian Chinese face new challenges with development opportunities. They lost faith in investing, so they started adjusting business strategies. The results were 3 investment goals. First, overseas investments by private enterprises before implementation of new economic policy.
Every clan association and Chinese community wanted to establish enterprises to help the less fortunate. All the successful entrepreneurs should invest and set up companies to help those poorer members so they could have career development opportunities.
Second, the enterprises successfully cooperated with Malay after implementation of new economic policy, like Nam Hui's palm oil plantations in East Malaysia. Third, the declining industries, like tin mining industry. Malaysian Chinese banks were merged and acquired by the government or Malay companies, and plant industry. Hong Kong Holian Holdings Berhad was established on March 14, 1983. This overseas investment strategy was to cope with the growth of new markets. This company was established by Persatuan Hopo Malaysia with the support of every Hopo communities. The representatives are the 3 musketeers of Hopo. Tan Sri Chong Kok Lim was president. Datu Wong Ki Tat and Datu Lee Chi Min were vice president. Nam Hui was general manager and Dr. Paul Yong was assistant general manager. The purpose of Holian Holdings Berhad was to align with the Malaysian government's new economic policy, transforming family businesses into enterprises to upgrade the economic status of Malaysians.
We bought many factories because Tan Sri and all our board members said China is opening up. They will need a lot of merchandise. So we bought a telephone company a videotape company, a plastic company, an eyeglasses company, an electronics company. About 8 companies, 8 to 9 factories.
Shortly after establishment, Holian Holdings Berhad bought plots of land in Kuala Lumpur, engaged in construction projects in Malacca, and applied approval from Sarawak government to cultivate oil palms. In 1985, they bought Golden Mansion in Hong Kong, Kowloon, and acquired Australian-owned Hin Kong Investment Limited. The company listed on the stock exchange and remanded Hong Kong Holian Investment Limited, resumed trading at the Kowloon Stock Exchange Limited on July 4, 1985, and officially listed on the Far East and the stock exchange on July 5th.
We developed in Hong Kong for 10 years. Our business kept growing, but management team was short-handed. The telephone company had over 3,000 workers and 83 engineers. The electronics company manufactured scales, and the videotape company. Now we have discs, but not at that time. Only videotapes. All our factories were at Shenzhen, China. 20 factories in total.
Because China's reform and opening up policy was unstable, and their investments scattered around the world, it's difficult to control. Also, there are different customs and cultures in different countries. All those problems caused Holian's 5-year investment in Hong Kong ending with failure. So Lo Nam Hui decided to unload Holian stocks and moved his business focus back to Malaysia in 1993. Developing timber industry in Papua New Guinea was Lo Nam Hui's other overseas investment plan. This Papua New Guinea development project was taken in charge by his eldest son, Kwek Hin, and fourth son, Kwek Lee.
At that time, Malaysia's natural timber resources were declining. Therefore, one day he came to us and said, Papua New Guinea had abundant natural timber resources. Let's go take a look to see if it's worth investing in.
That company is Madang Timber Pty Limited. It's in New Guinea. They were a timber industry for many years. It's a time-honored company. Afterward, they decided to buy this company.
Going to a new country, it has different laws, different culture, and different customs. So after going there, we faced a lot of difficulties. There were too many problems.
It was impossible to keep going. We already put too much money into it. Also at that time, the investment environment in New Guinea was not so good. Their work efficiency needed improving too.
In New Guinea, you need to put in a lot of effort, not just money.
Investing in Papua New Guinea's timber industry for 8 years, not only making no profit, but also putting in another 50 million, caused major cash flow problems to Lo Nam Hui groups. The causes of failure were the differences between 2 cultures and 2 types of rule of law. Also, the different customs and the natives made things difficult for them. For Lo Nam Hui, this failure is the biggest career setback.
The business in 1986 was not good, and I already made investments in Hong Kong. I was tied up, so I decided to sell it.
The investment in Papua New Guinea caused financial distress, so Lo Nam Hui planned to close sawmills in Tampuai Indau and East Johor and sell non-core assets.
He wanted to sell Sanong and Lian Hup estate. He didn't tell me. I didn't know. He just discussed it with his son, and he set the price at 62 million. He also gave Datuk Liu King Lee the option to purchase. Datuk Liu King Lee was state executive councillor. I'll tell you what happened. I knew it all. It was the turning point. One day, Datuk Liu King Lee came in with 3 people. They're buyers. I saw Datuk Liu King Lee. We'd never talked before, but I knew him. I asked Datuk Liu why you came here. He said I came to buy palm oil plantations. He showed me the papers. Sanong and Lian Hup estate only sell for 62 million. That's just enough to pay the taxes, and nothing left. I was worried. That's not right. Palm oil plantations, they're only business, nothing else. We closed the sawmills too. We can't sell those. Then I knew what to do. I asked them to sit on a sofa and wait a minute. Moments later, Tan Sri walked in. I ran to his office. I call him Uncle Hui because he's younger than my father. I said, Uncle Hui, you want to sell Senang and Lianhup Estate? I saw the option to purchase contract. He said yes. He confirmed he wanted to sell those. I said, Uncle Hui, you can't sell those. If you do, you don't need to come to work. There'll be no business to do, including this building and the hotel. Those are our only business. You don't need to come to work anymore. You have to think about it. You sell those, then you don't need to come to work. We won't have any business to do. Think about it. Then I left his office and asked the buyers to go in. Everyone exchanged greetings. He said these 3 people have come to buy your plantations. They brought their checkbooks with them. Tan Sri apologized to them. He said he wanted to cancel the deal. Datuk Liu was so angry, he yelled at Tan Sri and said, this isn't child's play. You gave me the option to purchase. I brought the buyers, now you want to cancel the deal. He was so angry, but there was nothing Tan Sri could do. Then Datuk Liu said, let's go, forget it. So we kept the plantations and continued to manage the business. Why Tan Sri wanted to sell those, it's because of mismanagement.
Then, an overseas Chinese businessman was willing to pay more than market price to buy the sawmills in Tamboi, Endau, and East Johor. Now he had money to pay off debt, but the bank agreed to defer his payment and encouraged him to keep investing in and developing business. So Lo Nam Hui decided to list the palm oil industry as the future development goal again and focused on East Malaysia.
All his life, he wasn't afraid to take risks. In business, he had done the impossible many times. I really admired that. I have a degree, but I wasn't that brave. It just isn't that easy.
Lo Nam Hui and Sons Sundarian Berhad, from family business to public enterprise, issued public shares and started to undertake the business transformation.
After buying this building, we had our own base. This was our headquarters. So we wanted to develop our business even further. Hanlan had grown to a certain level. We wanted to list on the stock exchange, but it was hard to apply on our own because we had too many overdue taxes. There's a company called Sportma. Business wasn't well, so we bought it through a friend as a broker. We bought the company to do a backdoor listing.
Sportma Corporation Berhad is listed on the second board. This company was in deficit due to poor business and got into a serious predicament. In 2002, Lo Nam Hui decided to acquire Sportma through Harnlen, the subsidiary company of Lo Nam Hui and Sons, and reorganized it into a palm oil company and listed on the second board of Bursa Malaysia again.
In 2003, we did the backdoor listing, and we expanded our business. We went to East Malaysia to develop. That's how Hanlan started growing.
When the company listed, palm oil plantations were in the harvest season and made a big profit. In 2002, Masranti Plantation cultivate oil palms by the highway at Serian Sarawak. In 2003, Harnland signed collaboration in land development plan with Sarawak Land Consolidation and Rehabilitation Authority. In this collaboration plan, Harnland was the leading organization and took 60% of the land. The natives took 30%. LCDA took the remaining 10%.
The Sarawak chief minister at that time, Taib Mahmud, he holds the office at present. When he first took office, he wanted to develop the palm oil industry in Sarawak. So he went to Johor Bahru to see Tan Sri. Tan Sri took him to inspect his plantations and palm oil mills.
At first, we collaborated with the government. We wanted to make an effort here. Tan Sri told me, now I'll focus on Sarawak. I went to Sarawak and saw a golden opportunity. I have to invest in Sarawak. This definitely will work, madam. That's what he told me. I didn't really agree with him, but I thought, I would do my job.
Lo Nam Hui had experience of leading companies and Chinese communities, tells his unique management philosophy. Government official or businessman, you can't have both. You want to make money, don't be an official. You can't be a good official if you want to make money. He explains further his own management philosophy is to make the use of the cycling of natural resources. Buy a 5,000-acre plot of land. Every year, reclaim 1/5 of the land. Sell the timber to make money. Use some to pay the loan, and the rest to cultivate oil palms. After 5 years, the land is opened up completely. The loan is paid off, and the earlier 1,000 acres oil palms can be harvested. So without large capital, can still make big business. But he said any plan can fail, because except for the right place, you still need the right time and right people. With human relations, he tolerates and accepts those who other people think are problematic, and makes the most of their specialty. He also can take in criticism. You must know how to make connections, and look for help so you can yield twice the result with half the effort.
When we want to do business or raise money to buy machines for factories, but we don't have enough money, suddenly there comes a savior who is introduced to us through someone. I can't explain it.
Keeping up with the times and government policy, traditional family business has transformed into a listed company.